Hey, are you interested in low cost, high quality motorcycle gloves? I am. And that's why today I'm going to be reviewing these Save Your Heat heated motorcycle gloves. In this video, I'm going to look at 3 key elements that I think make a good motorcycle glove. First is quality construction, second is fit, third is function. Do they actually work? Join me as I put these gloves to the test and see if they actually keep my hands warm on a chilly day like today. Stay with me right till the end and I'll give you my final recommendation on these gloves. Let's go. Living here in central Canada, our riding season is short, so anything that extends our season is good by me. So that's why I jumped at the opportunity to review these gloves. When the good folks at Save Your Heat asked me to review them, I was right on it. So for complete transparency, Save Your Heat sent me these gloves, but there's no sponsorship or strings attached. Everything you hear in this video today are my own opinions. Let me tell you why I'm interested in heated gloves. One of my few complaints about this Tiger 1200 is that my heated grips just aren't warm enough. On a cold day like today, where it's under 5 degrees, we had a bit of snow earlier on, these grips just don't keep my hands warm enough. When you're not warm, you're not comfortable, and when you're not comfortable, you're not safe. You need your full attention on your ride and not on having cold hands. So that's why I wanted to try out some heated gloves. Another reason I'm looking at heated gloves is I'm really looking for the Goldilocks solution. I'm tired of having so many pairs of gloves. I've got cold weather gloves, I've got cool weather gloves, I've got warm weather gloves, I got hot weather gloves. And this just takes up too much room. It's really expensive too, so having one pair of gloves that can do multiple seasons would really make it a lot cheaper. Secondly, this takes up a lot of room. And finally, when I'm riding, I start out on a cool morning with my cold weather gloves, then I have to stop and put these guys on when my hands get too sweaty, and then I'm off and into these guys. Or vice versa, I start with these ones on a warm afternoon and then I'm into these guys or these guys, and I'm stopping and changing my gloves all the time. So having a pair of gloves that can heat up, or you can turn them off and let them cool down for the weather, ought to make life a lot easier. Comes in an attractive box. Inside the box, you've got a pair of gloves, a user's manual, a charger, and a handy storage bag. So that's pretty cool. My initial impression of these gloves is quite positive. You've got a leather palm and a leather reinforcement for where you're on the handlebars, and you have a slider on your wrist so that if you do go down, you don't break your scapula. On the back, you have a polyester layer that's nice and comfortable and easy to move. You have a carbon graphite protection on your knuckles. You have 2 places where you can adjust. You have a wrist strap that can pull it in tight so that it's nice and snug and keeps the cold air out. And then you have your wrist adjustment. Here's where the battery goes. The battery goes in a little pocket just inside the wrist. So it goes right in there. At first I was a little concerned with that. I thought maybe that would get in the way or it would be uncomfortable. But putting them on, I don't even notice it. So that's terrific. So here's an up-close look at the battery pouch. So the battery pouch is here on the wrist. And the battery just sits straight inside of there. There's a plug here. It's just a single plug. You plug it straight in like that. And then you tuck the battery inside the pocket. It's nice and slim. Quite a nice piece of engineering. On the glove itself, you have your on-off button. And put it on. You have the 3 levels, high, medium, and low. Very simple, very easy to access this button. Every time you change the level, you have 4 LED indicators below it that tell you your battery charging level. So I think that's pretty terrific. You'll know exactly where your gloves are. Okay, so here you can see the 3 lights are lit up, so I have it in high. I'm going to move it down to medium, and you can see right below it there are 4 battery indicators to tell you how much charge you have left on your battery. That's a nice little design as you turn it on and off. Maybe difficult to see as you tuck it up underneath your jacket if you wear the gauntlet inside your jacket, but it'd be great on the outside. So initial impressions, the quality of the build is really good. The controls are easy to access and work perfectly. You just hold and it goes off. These have a waterproof membrane, and that's good because there's wet days like today where that'll be necessary. I have to say the inner liner is super soft, and out of all those gloves that I just showed you, this is undoubtedly the most comfortable of them all. As for fit, I ordered an XL, and they're quite roomy. I usually wear an XL, and these are just actually maybe a bit big. I could probably go with a large on these, but they feel very comfortable right now. And when I have them on, I have no problem reaching any of my controls, adjusting any of the buttons on the bike are no problem at all. The heating element on these gloves covers the whole back of the hand and the fingertips. So it's not on your palm, so it doesn't get in the way of your feel on the throttle. So that's well thought out and well engineered. And the battery on these lasts from 2 to 6 hours. 2 hours on high, 4 hours on medium, and 6 hours on low. And something I love, and that is a squeegee on the index finger of both hands so that you can clear your visor. And they have a screen sensitive pad on the index finger of each hand. So let's give that a try out right now. Trying with my finger here. Works just fine. That actually works really well. I'm impressed. Okay, so the next test we're going to have is I'm going to see how long it takes them to warm up. Okay, at about 1:30, I started feeling heat in around my thumb and towards the end of my fingers. And we're at 2 minutes and I can already feel it getting very warm. So that's pretty responsive. I'm impressed. All right. The only next thing to do is to put them on, take them for a ride. Let's go. So here I am going out to go for a ride. Gloves are on. Feeling good. I just took it out of the garage, so if you look at the temperature on the dash, it says 11.5 degrees, but that's what it is in the garage. It's only about 6 degrees out here. So I've got it over the cuffs of my riding suit, and it's actually not that uncomfortable. It's not my preference, but in the rain, that's how I wear it anyway, so it's something I can get used to. Let's go. So they look good. They feel good. I took them for a ride, but I forgot to turn my camera on. So this is my second ride in them. I found them very comfortable on the first ride. We'll see how the heat comes on. With the heat on the back of my gloves and the grip heaters on the palms, I think my hand is going to be well covered and well warm. Well, it's 6.5 degrees. It's a little overcast, but it stopped raining. And it's a beautiful day for a fall ride. The backs of my hands are already warm from the heating elements. I certainly feel it in the thumb, and that's good. All right, I'm back home now, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so here's my final review. Pros and cons. The pros, well, there's lots of them. These are well-made gloves. They're comfy. I like the inner lining. They certainly seem well-made. And the buttons are really easy to use. I like the battery indicator too, so you'll know when to charge them. I guess the 1,400 reviews on Amazon couldn't be wrong. You got 4.2 rating, and that's pretty good in my books. So there are a few cons, not many. The first is the fact that they're battery operated. That's not a big deal if you're taking trips around town, but if you're on a long trip, it gives you another set of batteries that you have to charge. Also means that if the batteries are dead, you have no heat. You just have to plan ahead. And secondly, I like to wear my gloves inside of my jacket, and so I can't reach the controls. That's not a big deal either. I could get used to that, especially for heat. So overall, the pros far outweigh the cons, and I like them. I'm glad I've got them, and I recommend that you look at them too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more motorcycle gear reviews and epic motorcycle rides. Go forth with an open mind, and most importantly, an open heart. And remember, self-care is not selfish.